Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Where we all are in the know. La 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 la. Hello, everybody. No one's coming on yet, though. So, not hello, everybody. Just silence, everybody. Silencio Bruno. It's literally no one's on right now. Holy cow. Except for maybe people watching later on. So hello to those people who are watching later on. This is really odd because usually we have at least 7 people on right now. And right now it's just me talking to myself. It's an audience participation episode. So hopefully we get some people on here pretty soon. Maybe not. I have no idea. Otherwise, it's just me like, I don't even know. I don't know what the backup plan would be. Oh, there we go. We got people coming on. Holy cow. That was a lot longer than it usually takes. People aren't talking, but at least it shows that people are watching now. There's we go. More people are watching. I don't even know what I'm doing because I can see this. There's a number right up here, and it tells me how many people are watching. Oh, there we go. It just doubled. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, and we just got a heart. Bling. It says 6 between the two. So hopefully we have at least the 6 people watching that it says it's watching. Because tonight is an audience participation episode. So if we don't have the audience, we can't participate. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday show. Didn't get a notification. That's very weird. No one's getting notifications, apparently, because it's silent out here. The first minute, it showed no one was watching. I was like, this is a lot weirder than usual. I may not be the most popular person, but usually at least I have my mom watching. How's everyone doing? Are you guys doing good? Hopefully everyone's doing well today. So today we're going to be continuing our bracket series. So if you guys want to join us for the bracket series, make sure you are chatting away in the chat room because otherwise we will not be doing the bracket series. We'll be doing a backup episode. I don't even know what the backup episode is going to be. So if while we wait for people to get on here right now, because the number is still very low, because we need to participate. It's a participation episode. While we go through here and wait, it's kind of crazy because we've been doing the bracket series. We were doing it almost every single week for like a month, and then we're like, oh, we're gonna pause for we're gonna do the first thing that we paused for. Let me see if I can remember this all correctly, because I'm almost positive I can remember it all correctly. The first thing we paused for was to do the recap of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, followed by the next week we did live from Fort Wilderness, and then the next week we did a recap of the year, and the next week we did an answer the questions in preparation for Run Disney, and then the next week was the half marathon. The week after that I was on a cruise. The week after that we talked about the cruise. The week after that would have been 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We've had something going on every single week. So it's been a very, very long time since we did this. So while people are logging on here, let's do a quick recap of what exactly we're talking about here. So if you guys have never joined us before, we are doing our bracket series where we have things going head to head with one another. Now, this bracket series that we were doing for months, and then we just kind of paused for months, was about Disney Plus and trying to figure out what the best thing to watch on Disney Plus is. However, like I said, we need more people to participate in the chat room for us to actually be able to do this episode. So if you're out there, say hello. Right now we got the Frank fam. That's the only, unless again, like last time. Remember last time I wasn't getting notifications about the people in, I think it was YouTube last time. It was showing me that people were not talking, and I was like, what's going on here? Hey, Shelly. So I just want to make sure that we do have people on so we can do this series. Otherwise, we'll have to kind of go through a backup series instead. So right now it's silence. Silencio Bruno. Okay, let's get this party started. We're to start doing the intro, and then we'll kind of go from there, and hopefully we'll get some more people on here. Right now, it's showing nothing, nada. Just told my family to get on, I may regret that later. It's really weird. So I'm assuming it's because people didn't get a notification on YouTube. That maybe we're just not getting people on tonight. Maybe there's some glitch in the system. Howdy. Okay, we're starting to get more people on. Okay, so let's get this party started. We're going to start the 704th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 704th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is February 15th, 2023. I'm your host, as always, Brent Judge. Hello. Before we get into the topic of the show, happy birthday, Tom. Tom, if you're out there watching, happy birthday. It is my godson's birthday today. So happy birthday to Tom. Hopefully, he's watching and says, thank you. Or smiles. I don't even know. So tonight what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing our bracket series to try to figure out what the best thing to watch on Disney Plus is. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. As always, thank you everyone who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday right here on my YouTube channel, we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. This coming up Saturday, we are going to be going live from Tron. That's right, Tron Light Cycle Run. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to be trying out something brand new for this week Saturday in the Park, because in order to broadcast from Tron, I have to have it. So it's a GoPro that's attached to my chest. So we're going to be doing it's essentially we're going to be testing out something to do the broadcast. So hopefully everything goes smoothly. If it doesn't, I apologize in advance. But we are going to be attempting to do a broadcast with the GoPro while riding Tron this coming up Saturday. So make sure you join us every single Saturday, including this Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern time over on my YouTube channel. We always have a lot of fun. Also, speaking of YouTube, if you didn't already know, every single day we are updating a brand new video over on my YouTube channel until today. That's right, we've gone 194 consecutive days of uploading a brand new video over on my YouTube channel. But my family's in town. More specifically, my brother and his family are in town. And because they are in town and I want to soak up as much niece and nephew time as I can possibly get, I am taking a break from doing the usual YouTube videos over the next 5 days. So for the next 5 days, we will not be having any brand new videos. Our videos will continue most likely next Wednesday. So I apologize in advance that you're not going to be getting our full-length videos, but those full-length videos take about 3 to 4 hours of my day, which I don't think people really realize. So every single day, it does take me about 3 to 4 hours to go through filming, editing, and then doing the whole uploading process. And I just want to soak up as much time with my niece and nephew, so we will be having a blank space for the next few days. However, I will continue to try, I can't promise, but I will try to upload a YouTube short every single day with a different fun find or hidden Mickey or just a little bit of a ride. So make sure you continue to watch for those videos as well. Also, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel Jazz Hands. Make sure you stop by itsallaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All their services are absolutely positively 100% free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. Okay, so looks like we got a few questions popping up here. What time do emails typically come out for the AP preview signups? It really has varied from time to time. There's been times where I've gotten it at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and friends of mine who are annual pass holders have gotten it at like 10 o'clock. So just kind of keep watching out for it. Hopefully it'll be in the morning, or hopefully we get the emails before other people get the emails, and then we can get in. So yeah, watch out for that. If you're an annual pass holder, tomorrow will be the preview sign up for Tron. Okay, so before we get into our competition here, if you guys have never joined us for one of these competitions, let's go through a quick recap of how these competitions work. What we did was you started us off. That's right, you guys right out there. You started us off by giving us 64 different things that you'd like to watch on Disney Plus. Over the past like 6 months now, we've been going through and doing different episodes about this, and we've been knocking off different things every single week. We went from the 64 to the 32 to the 16, and now we are currently trying to get into the Elite 8. Now, before we get through this, let's do a quick recap of how we got to this point so far, because a lot of people probably don't remember exactly where we left off. So getting into our second round to get into the Sweet 16, yes. You get into the Sweet 16, right? Right. Yeah, maybe. Yes. All right. This is how things got into the Sweet 16. The Rescuers beat Industrial Light and Magic. Brother Bear beat The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom beat out Luca. Bambi beat Cars on the Road. Jungle Cruise beat Descendants. Noel beat Star Wars Rebels. Cruella beat Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. The Imaginary Story beat out She-Hulk. Iron Man beat Once Upon a Time, the TV show. Muppets Haunted Mansion beat out One Disney Day. DuckTales, the original, beat Candle Shoe. Coco beat The Adventures of Gummy Bears. Coco beat Pollyanna beat out The Simpsons. Tarzan beat Tailspin. The Lady and the Tramp live action beat out Ralph Breaks the Internet. And Miss Marvel it didn't break the internet. It beat Wreck-It Ralph. And then getting into the Elite 8, so far we've done 2 rounds, and you guys have already sent 2 things out to the round 8, or to the Elite 8. And right now, Cruella so far has beat Brother Bear, and the Imaginary Story beat out Jungle Cruise, which brings us to tonight. Now, if you guys do not remember how this works, we currently have 14 things that are, 12 things that are still around for us to move into the next section. So I need 2 people to throw out any number between 1 and 12, and the first 2 numbers I see will be going head to head against one another to try to get into the Elite 8. So throw out those things right now. How many times will I have ridden Tron before it opens? So far, I've been on 8 times. I'm hoping for this next preview, I will get on at least 2 times on Saturday. And then with the annual pass holder, it depends on how many times they let me ride it. But if it's like the first time I did it, I was able to get on 7 times. So we'll see. All right, we got number 3 going up against number. Number 3 going up. The chat room is not very active tonight. Not 16. It's up through 12. 1 through 12 is what we're at. 1 through 12 is where it's at right now. So number 16 does not work. 1 through 12. 1 through 12. There we go. Number 9. Ooh. Okay. Let's get this party started. We got number 12 against, or I'm sorry. No. We got number 3 against number, I don't even know. Number, okay. Let's get this party started. The first one is going to be a special show that was created specifically for Disney Plus. Now, throughout the years, starting way back in 2008, the Marvel Cinematic Universe launched with the film Iron Man. Going from Iron Man, we eventually got to things like the Avengers, and then Avengers, and then Avengers, then Avengers, and then Disney Plus was born. And when Disney Plus was born, we were promised a bunch of different Marvel TV series. Every single one of them has been pretty amazing so far. There's a few that I haven't been like massive fans of, but overall, the Marvel films or Marvel series on Disney Plus have been pretty amazing or marvelous for the most part because it's Marvel. Oh, speaking of Marvel, one of these series is actually Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel tells this story about a girl who obtains special abilities through a bracelet that she receives from her grandmother. This allows her to go travel through time and also gives her other special powers that she can use to try to fight different bad guys that are coming at her. Eventually, it leads to a giant battle that's found in her own school. Miss Marvel is an amazing series. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. But going up against Miss Marvel is something else that is quite amazing. It would have to be to make it into the Sweet 16. And that is one of my favorite things that Disney Plus has released. Like, literally, it's probably in my top 5 of things that Disney's come out with. And that is none other than the Muppet Haunted Mansion. Now, we've seen the Haunted Mansion movie that came out with Eddie Murphy years and years and years ago. I think it was 2003. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 2003. when the Muppet movie, or I'm sorry, not the Muppet movie, when the Haunted Mansion came out back in 2003, I was pretty impressed with it, but at the same time, it took things way too lightly. I wanted a little bit more of an intense story. The Muppets gave us slightly more intense stories while also promising to kill off Pepe the King Prawn. What? And also possibly Gonzo. So, in the Muppet Haunted Mansion, Gonzo, the great Gonzo to be exact, is invited to go off and do a special one-night stay at the Haunted Mansion. Along the way, they meet several different ghosts, many of them famous ghosts that we would find throughout the actual Haunted Mansion attraction. There are so many different details that pay tribute to the attraction that it is just so much fun to watch. Everything from the Grim Grinning Ghost song, sung by several different actors, one of them being Pat Sajak. That's right. Can I buy a vowel? And then in addition to that, we also have several different things like the Doom Buggies, which Statler and Waldorf sit on throughout the entire film. And at one point, it breaks down, and then you hear the Doom Buggy voice. And that brings us to our first vote of the night. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round? Miss Marvel or the Muppet Haunted Mansion? You have about 30 seconds to throw your votes into the comments below, starting right now. Do, 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 do. We shouldn't do Jeopardy music. What's the Wheel of Fortune music? Wheel of Fortune. That's what it used to be back in the 90s. I remember because I had a little handheld game that I used to play all the time. Fun fact, I made it to the final auditions for Wheel of Fortune one time. I was actually just telling, we'll talk about this while you guys continue to vote here. So they had an open call audition in Wisconsin when I was still in Wisconsin. I went to the open call, and then I was called back to a different time where we would be inside of the hotel in downtown Milwaukee, which was apparently haunted. They put us in a room. There was about 60 of us in this room, and I sat right in the front. I was like, I'm going to catch their attention, blah, blah, blah. They had a board on the thing. They would spin the wheel, and then they would call off a person's name. That person would stand up. They have to shout out a letter and try to solve the puzzle. So they are going through, and at one time they had a puzzle up. The puzzle had one letter up there, and right away I was like, I know the answer of it. So they're like, Brent Dodge. I stood up, and I said, I like to solve the puzzle. And they said, please call out a letter first. I was like, T. And they're like, T's already up there. Sit down. That was how I killed myself. I absolutely killed myself. And, trying to get in there. Okay, let's go to our votes. We have Muppets. One for Muppets. Miss Marvel. Oh, wait a minute. We got the Frank fam here. Before we go through the votes here, another Miss Marvel for the Frank fam. And then... Wait, Frank fam, where's your vote? Oh, no, Miss Marvel. Okay. Miss Marvel. Right now, you guys are all on the same page. I'm impressed. Oh, wait, we have 1-1, 2-1 Muppets in the lead, 2-2, 3-2 with Miss Marvel pulling ahead, 3-3. We have a tie right now, 4-3, Miss Marvel pulling ahead once again, 4-4, Muppets tied up once again. Right now, we are currently at a tie. We will give you guys about 5 more seconds to throw any extra votes in there. Otherwise, we're going to start off with a big whopper where I'm going to have to be the person who goes through and try to get through. Oh, wait. Eric, I can see your name now. Eric has not voted yet. Actually, we have 7 people who have not voted yet that are watching right now. I will give you guys a few more seconds to throw your votes in. It is between Miss Marvel and Muppet Haunted Mansion. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round? As long as we have one vote. The first vote that comes in, that is not from anyone else that's already voted. I've been typing and nothing comes up. Eric, it's working now, though. Eric votes for Muppet Haunted Mansion. Muppet Haunted Mansion is moving on to the next round. Okay, that brings us to our next one here. Also, Eric, is Tom near you? Because tell him I said happy birthday at the start, and I'm not sure if he heard me or not. Okay, we need 2 numbers between 1 and 10. Throw those 2 numbers into the comments below, and those 2 numbers will be going head-to-head against one another in our next matchup here. All right, number 1 and number 7. 1 and 7 are the first two that popped up on my chat thing. So 1 and 7 it will be. Oh, this is a weird matchup. All right, let's get to it here. So we talked about Iron Man at the start of the last vote, talking about how it started off the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, and because of that, we might as well just continue it here because it is going to be continuing our vote here. Iron Man came out back in 2008 and tells the story of Tony Stark, who actually owned a business that created mass weapons. Eventually, he would go get kidnapped and then create the first Iron Man suit and decide that maybe making weapons is not the best idea, and he decided to put a war against terrorism. Overall, it launched an entire amazing saga of movies and series and a whole lot more. And it's one of those movies that you just can't help but love because of everything that it influenced later in life. Going up against Iron Man is something that everyone probably thinks of when they first hear the words Iron Man. When you think Iron Man, it's just tough not to think of Lady and the Tramp live action. Lady and the Tramp live action tells the story about Lady and the Tramp, two different dogs from different sides of the tracks. Lady and the Tramp eventually meet and fall in love with one another, but because they are from different sides of the track, things just don't seem to really work out specifically well for them. But of course, in the end, true love conquers all. And this amazing, yes, I said amazing, one of my favorite live action remakes of a Disney animated film, Lady and the Tramp, actually came out on the day that Disney Plus first came out way back in November 12th, 2019. And that's going to bring us to our next vote here. You've got about 30 seconds to throw into the comments below. Which one would you like to have move on to our next round? Lady and the Tramp live action or Iron Man? You've got about 30 seconds to throw your votes into the comments starting right now. Do, 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 do. He's in bed, but I'll have him watch. Excellent. Wow, we got a lot of Iron Man coming right now. Honestly, I was tempted at the start of this episode to sneak one in there and try to sneak out a. I'm not gonna lie. This is just confession time. I didn't do it. Don't worry. But I almost removed one of these things, and I was just gonna choose it at random. One of the top Sweet 16. I was gonna remove it and then actually replace it with the National Treasure series because I love that series so much, and I feel like it deserves a spot up in the top here. But I didn't do it because it came out after we started our bracket. So, unfortunately. All right, we're going to give you guys about 5 more seconds. Throw your votes into the comments below. And otherwise, we'll go through. Sorry late to the party. Lots of people looking for Flower and Garden Festival. Today I was walking around Epcot. My dad and I went over to Epcot before my niece and nephew arrived. And we walked around, and they actually have started putting up some of the topiaries. So, hey. Okay, let's go through and count our votes here to figure out which one's moving on to our next round. We got Iron Man 1, 2, not Iron Man 2, but Iron Man as well. Iron Man has 2 votes. 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 6-4. Uh, 6-4. It looks like Iron Man is moving on to our next round here. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum-bum. That's Superman. Okay. We are down to final 8 here to try to get into the next round. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 8 into the comments right now so we can figure out what is moving on to our next battle. Boom, boom, boom. 2 numbers between 1 and 8. Throw your comments into the thing below. We get a number 5 here is the first number that popped up, and a number 4. 5 against 4. Also, if you want to share with your friends, let them know that we are here playing a game. Maybe your friend wants to have it so your favorite thing moves on to the next round, and you just feel like you might need some help. Because I feel like when we get to this next round here, you might need some help trying to have it so your favorite thing go against it. Have the winner of this go against National Treasure. I feel like enough people on here have not seen National Treasure that National Treasure would lose. Show of hands, how many people out there have seen National Treasure? Start throwing those things up as I start to describe our next round up here. Ding, ding. Okay, up in our left corner here, we've got one of the things that actually came out on, again, the opening day of Disney Plus Day. Actually, in fact, now that I look at this, in our Sweet 16, out of our Sweet 16 things, 3 of them are originally first day Disney Plus things that were created specifically for Disney Plus on opening day. So far, you've moved one of them forward, which is the Imagineering story, and you just took out another one, which is Lady and the Tramp. So we will see if another one moves forward or another one doesn't. These are the last 3 that existed in our tournament. So first up in the left corner, we have Noelle. Noelle tells the story of Anna Kendrick, who is the daughter of Santa Claus. Aww. Now, when she discovers that her brother is going to be the next Santa Claus, she's a little, she wants to be Santa Claus. Like, she feels like she doesn't want to be Santa Claus. She wants her brother to be Santa Claus, but at the same time, she's a lot more interested in the family business than her brother is. And then her brother gets the job of Santa Claus after her father retires. And when he retires and leaves the job to the brother, well, the brother decides to skip town and move to Arizona. When he goes to Arizona, she realizes that she has to go and try to retrieve him. Otherwise, Christmas is ruined. Along the way, she finds out that maybe she should be the next Santa Claus and he should not be. Overall, it is a great Christmas movie starring Anna Kendrick, Bill Hader, and probably some other people that I just can't think of right now. Going up against Noelle in our right corner here, we have a classic Disney film, a classic Disney live-action film that people just always seem to love. Like, they're just glad to watch it. Like, when you watch this film, it just makes you feel so glad inside. That's right, I've used the word glad multiple times. That's because we're talking about the Glad Town, aka the Glad game that is found in Pollyanna. Pollyanna tells the story of Pollyanna, who moves to the town of Harrington after her parents pass away. I know, really brutal start to this film. However, this is also the film that every time we talk about it, I have to point out the fact that it's the only Disney live-action film that starts off with the shot of a bare butt of a child. Going into the film, Pollyanna goes through and she slowly changes the entire mindset of the town from sadness and gloominess to gladness with playing the glad game throughout the entire town. So that brings us into our next vote here. Which one would you like to have move into our Elite 8? Would it be Pollyanna or Noelle? You guys have about 30 to 45 seconds. So throw your votes into the comments below, starting right now. I like Noelle. I think Noelle's a great film. I was going to watch it for this Christmas season. I never got around to it. But maybe I'll just put my Christmas tree up and watch it anyways. I guess I don't have to put it up. But Pollyanna is just such a classic film. Like, Pollyanna is just one of those films that I just absolutely love. It's also like the most heartbreaking film. Like, when you go through, Follow Me Boys should be on this list. Oh wait, I'm so distraught that Follow Me Boys is not on Disney Plus. There's actually a lot of different Disney films that are not on Disney Plus, and it blows my mind. Eric and I actually talk about this quite often because we know several people who complain about how there's not enough to watch on Disney Plus, and they should have more on Disney Plus. I do agree with that. Like, they've got things like Follow Me Boys should be on there. What was the other one? I was just gonna say One of Our Dinosaurs Is Missing should be on there. There's a lot of like really random Disney movies that are out there in the world that people just have never seen, and if you don't put it on Disney Plus, they may never see it. But Follow Me Boys is just a classic film, and I just wish that they would have it up. Okay, let's start going through our votes here to figure out which one's moving on to our next round. We got Noelle has 1 vote. Pollyanna has 1 vote. We have a 1-1 vote. 2-1 with Noelle in the lead. 2-2, we have a tie. 3-2, Pollyanna pulls into the lead. 3-3, Noelle ties it up. 4-3, Pollyanna's pulled into the lead. 4-4, Noelle's tied it up. 5-4, Noelle's pulled to the lead. 5-5, Pollyanna ties it up. Holy cow. Where's House of Mouse on Disney Plus? It's not on Disney Plus. Summer Magic also should be on Disney Plus. But that's besides the point, because right now we are at a 5-5 vote. Oh, we have a 6-5 vote. We'll give you guys about 5 more seconds to vote because there's still 8 of you out there who have not voted yet. 6-5 vote. 8 people that were sitting around waiting for. Oh, Noel pulls in the lead. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Noel is moving to the lead, which means we have 2 original opening day Disney Plus shows are still in our competition to possibly win the entire competition. But before we figure out what's going to win, we got to go to our next matchup. So I need 2 numbers between 1 and 6. Throw it into the comments below, starting right now. I'm actually kind of shocked that Noel just won. We got one. Wait, Pollyanna. 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5, 6-5, 6-6, 7-6. That's unbelievable. I cannot believe that Noel just won. I thought Pollyanna was gonna run over that one with no. Wow. All right, we got 1 number in so far. We got 2. We need 1 other number to figure out the other thing that's going to be going head to head against number 2. Anyone? Bueller? And number 3. Ooh. Oh. Well, the 1 had a good run. The one of these made it a lot further than I thought I was going to make it, and it's going to end right now. I can tell you that right now for a fact. Okay. So first up on our list here, let's start off with the one that I love dearly. If you know anything about me, that you know that this book right here was inspired by 2 little mice. Those 2 little mice live right up here in multiple ways, shapes, and form. The Rescuers. The Rescuers originally came out back in 1977, starring Bernard and Bianca, who would go off to try to save a girl named Penny. When they would go off to try to save her, they were part of the Rescue Aid Society, RESCUE, Rescue Aid Society. Heads held high, touch the sky, you mean everything to me. In a jip, but that's besides the point. The Rescuers tells the story about 2 brave little mice who go above and beyond to try to rescue a girl named Penny, who's been kidnapped because she's the only one who's small enough to fit inside of a well and then go retrieve a diamond that has been hiding in there for years and years and years. Going up against the Rescuers is something I forgot. What was it? Oh, Going Up Against the Rescuers is a series that is found on Disney Plus, exclusive to Disney Plus, although it's also on the National Geographic Channel. The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. The Disney's Animal Kingdom just aired its 2nd season, starting on, I want to say it was January 1st. When the 2nd season debuted, it gave us more and more stories about the animals found throughout Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, not just Disney's Animal Kingdom or Disney's Animal Kingdom, but Disney's Animal Kingdom actually belongs to not just that, but it also goes over to the Fort Wilderness Campground, where we have the different horses there, the Seas Pavilion over at Epcot, and then, of course, Animal Kingdom Lodge over at, Animal Kingdom Lodge. This series goes through, and every single episode follows 3 to 4 different animals as they kind of go through different medical procedures and have it so maybe they're, trying to get pregnant, having a baby, hopefully not passing away. Actually, one of the episodes in the 2nd season, spoiler alert, massive spoiler alert, I'm not going to say which animal it is, and you can just watch through and be on pins and needles the whole time. When they killed off the animal, it was heartbreaking. I remember watching the show and I was like, oh, this poor animal. Maybe I'll go to Animal Kingdom tomorrow and see how he's doing. And then at the end, they're like, all the caretakers are crying because this animal passes away. And I was like, why did they have to kill off the animal? It was really, really was heartbreaking. It was like, ugh. Anyways, the Rescuers against the Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Throw your votes into the comments below starting right now. You guys have about 30 to 45 seconds to throw your votes in to figure out which one is moving on to the Elite 8. RESCUE, Rescue Aid Society. Heads held high, touch the sky. You mean everything to me. In a chip, in a jam, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Our votes are starting to come in here slowly. I love the Rescuers, but I'm pretty sure this is the end of the Rescuers. I could be wrong. I was positive it was the end of Noel, and that one blew my mind that Noel's moved on and passed up. You guys have been very, very different with your votes this time. Let me just say, like, what was the first one? That Candle Shoot beat WandaVision. Like, that still blows my mind. It still blows my mind. There's been some kind of crazy ones where I'm like, really, that one won. Ralph Breaks the Internet beat Loki. That blew my mind. You guys have really. Brent, what is the name of the Firefly? You mean the Dragonfly? Evan Root. Evan Root. All right, let's tally up these votes here. Okay, we got Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom 1, 2, 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. We are tied. Wow. Man, this is a tough one. I love them both, but I will go with the Rescuers. That's 4-3, 4-4, 5-4. We're gonna give you guys like 5 more seconds to throw any votes in. Any last votes that anyone wants to put in there, speak now or forever hold your bingo piece. We got. There's 12 of you who have not voted yet. We got a lot of people who are just kind of watching in the rafters today. Okay, Disney's Animal Kingdom is moving on to our next round here. I need 2 more numbers between 1 and 4. Whatever these numbers are going to be determining what our last 2 rounds are going to be here before we go into our final round. Or it's our Elite 8. We got number 2 and number 1. 2 and 1 are going to be going against each other, which also means that number 3 and 4 will be going against each other. Let me just write these in here so we have it. Oh. Eric, things worked out well for you. Because I was pretty sure things were going to go terribly for you. But luckily for you, I thought you were going to have to come to a very difficult decision on this round, but right now you do not. Later on you probably will, but right now you do not. Okay, so let's start us off with a movie. Come stop your crying. It'll be all right. That's right, Tarzan. Tarzan came out back in 1999. Tells the story of Tarzan, the child who was raised by monkeys or gorillas. Actually, not monkeys. I once said something about a gorilla being a monkey on accident on my Instagram story. I said, oh, there's a monkey. I mean a gorilla. And I, like, the amount of hate I received in the comments from people. Like, I had people sending me messages. That's a gorilla. How do you not know? I was like, I corrected myself. Anyway. And I just messed up again, and now I'm going to get hate mail again about it. But anyways, it tells the story about Tarzan, who was raised by gorillas until he eventually meets the love of his life, Jane, a.k.a. the first woman he ever meets in his entire life. The 2 of them fall in love with one another, and eventually, which translates to Jane stays with Tarzan. Going up against Tarzan is a series which ran from 1988 all the way up until 1991. It had so much fun and so many thrills and so many catchy songs. Well, one catchy song. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales. Woo! That's right. We're talking about DuckTales. DuckTales was a series which starred characters like Louie, along with Scrooge McDuck, Huey, and Dewey. The 4 of them, along with several other friends, including characters like Doofus. That's right. That was a character's name that was back in the 1980s and 1990s on a TV show. Gizmo Duck, Launchpad McQuack, Webigail Vanderquack, Mrs. Beakley and Ducksworth, the butler, and so many other amazing characters that they created for the show. It ran for 99 episodes, and every single episode is a amazing episode. Well, there's a few that aren't great episodes, but overall, it's an amazing series. which is going to bring us to our next vote here. Which one would you like to have move on to our next round? DuckTales, woohoo, or Tarzan? You'll be in my heart. DuckTales, woohoo. I'm a DuckTales fan. I don't know if you ever knew. Like, this is DuckTales right up here, too. See it? That's a sticker that came with a DuckTales toy that I bought at Target. And it's not even a sticker. It's just like, it kind of stuck a little bit on the thing, and I took it off, and I stuck it up here like 7 years ago, and it's never come down. Life is like a hurricane here in... I love DuckTales. You know what's great about this mug, too, before I go to the votes here? So, I mean, we got the DuckTales. We got that. And then on the bottom, I've never taken off I don't drink out of this. I just use it for... Actually, it keeps the bouncing ball. That's really what its main purpose is. If you look at the bottom here, there's like a treasure, which I think is pretty cool. But then also what I think is really cool is you can be like, DuckTales, woohoo. Okay, let's go to our votes to figure out which one is moving on. We got 1 for DuckTales, 2 for DuckTales, 3 for DuckTales, 4 DuckTales. I don't think it works that way, but we're going to, no, 1. 2 to 1 with Tarzan getting the vote. 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 7 to 2. Come again, Dean? Hey, my mom just did it too. 8 to 3. DuckTales is moving on to our next round, and of course, always to our hearts. We only have 2 numbers left, so by default, they are going to be going up against one another to get into the Elite 8. Okay, we've got a classic movie from the 1940s going against a classic movie from the 2010s. How can a movie be classic and it's only 5 years old? Well, let me explain. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Remember me, though I hate to say goodbye. Remember me, didn't mean to make you cry. Coco. Coco tells the story about Miguel, not Coco. It tells the story about Coco, but anyways, Miguel is a boy who wants to be a musician, but he's raised in a house that has people who hate musicians because his great-great-grandpa once was a musician and he ran away. And of course, everyone hates musicians because of that. So instead, they make shoes. They could have made so many different things like, costumes for wrestlers or fireworks, but no, they decided to make shoes. It's from the movie. Miguel desperately wants to be like his hero, who is Ernesto de la Cruz, and eventually he steals his guitar and is brought to the land of the dead. Ooh. Along the way, he needs to have it so he gets a blessing to go back into the land of the living. He finds his family. His family says, okay, we can send you back. They send him back, but they say no music. When he strings a guitar up, of course, he comes right back, and they say, what? You only last like 2 seconds. He finds someone else, and that person says, hey, I know Ernesto de la Cruz. He brings him to Ernesto de la Cruz, but along the way, a lot of different crazy things happen, and eventually he realizes that family is not exactly the family that he actually had. So while he goes through, he eventually is going back into the land of the living, and that is how he gets back to his grandma, or great-grandma, Coco. Hence the story, Coco. Going up against Coco is another movie which doesn't have as exciting a plot, but we'll try to make it just as exciting. He came. Did you know? He's here. Look. Who came? Who arrived? Well, the Prince of the Forest. That's right. We're talking about Bambi. And Bambi, the Prince of the Forest, arrives in the form of Bambi. What? Fun fact, there are 3 different princes in the Disney universe that are all animals. They are Prince John, from Robin Hood. We have Bambi, the prince here, and then we also have Simba. They are the only 3 princes that are animals and stay in animal form throughout the entire film. But that's besides the point. So the Prince of the Forest is a Bambi. Eventually, we go through and we learn how Bambi learns how to walk. What? He also learns how to say words. The first word he says is bird. And then he starts calling everything bird until eventually he sees a butterfly, and then it's a butterfly, and then it's a skunk, and it's flower, and flower, and the skunk becomes flower, and then eventually he learns how to water ski, and then eventually his mother dies. Spoiler alert, but it's very, very sad. After his mother passes away, he's on his own, and he eventually gets Twitter-pated with another deer. Eventually, he grows up. The two of them fall deeply in love, but then, of course, man strikes again. It's already killed his mother, but now it decides to kill his home as well. There's a fire in the forest, and everyone has to flee. Eventually, we get to the end where him and Faline, the mother of his now child or children, spoiler alert, they have two twins together. And that brings us to our vote. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round, Coco or Bambi? That was the fastest anyone's ever talked about Bambi. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure no one's ever talked about Bambi that quickly before. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. I have no idea. So Coco or Bambi are the two that are going head to head with one another right now. Cute deer or cute musician? Okay, we're going to give you guys about 10 more seconds to vote. We got a lot of people voting for this one. Let's see which one is going to be moving on to our next round here. All right, and before we go through, before I start counting votes, Shelly, I see you've got Coco, and I also see you have Bambi. Which one would you like? I'm not going to count either one of those votes because they cancel each other out. Throw your final vote down right now so that we know if it is Coco or Bambi that you want to have move on to our next round here. Or I guess we could count both of them just to give both of them like a participation point. But whatever your third one is, that's going to be the one that we move on to our next round. Okay, let's tally up the scores here. We are going to do participation points for Coco and Bambi. We got 1 for Coco, 2 for Coco, 2-1, 2-2. Bambi has tied it up. 3-2. Bambi has pulled into the lead. 3-3. Coco's tied it up. 4-3. Again, this is we counted the other one, so it technically is 4-3 right now. 4-4, 5-4, 6-4 with Coco in the lead. 7-4, 8-4. Final vote is Bambi 8-5. And when we have a high, that's my impression of Stitch saying hi at the movie. So Coco will be moving on to our next round here. Okay, we officially have our Elite 8. So what we're going to do real quick here is we're going to just randomly throw these into our random generator, which is just me typing, to try to figure out which one is moving on to the next round here. We have time, so okay. Which one am I missing? I'm missing. Let me just make sure that we have all of them, and then we'll go through. But you want to recount? I'm positive Coco won. We'll ignore the first two. So we have 1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3. Oh, well, we can't count that one twice. All right. 1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 7-4. Coco definitely won. All right, let me just go through and make sure that we have all 8 are represented here. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss one. And then we're gonna start our next round, trying to get into the final 4 here. We got that one's there. We got that one's there. We got that one there. We got that one there. That one's there, and that one's there. Okay. Round to get into final 4. All right, we've got 4 head-to-head things here. So this is not going to be the order that they are listed in. This is going to be the order that they are won in. We have Cruella beat Brother Bear, The Imaginary Story beat Jungle Cruise, Muppet Haunted Mansion beat Miss Marvel, Iron Man beat out Lady and the Tramp live action, Noelle beat Pollyanna, The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom beat The Rescuers, DuckTales beat Tarzan, and Coco beat Bambi. And now I need 2 numbers from you guys randomly between the numbers 1 and 8. Those two will be going head to head against one another. Do 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 do. Okay, we got 8 and 4 are the first two that popped up on my side here. So 8 and 4 it will be. Oh my gosh. Okay. There weren't any real ones in the last round that were like killing me where I was like, oh, I always kind of had one that I would prefer to have won. I didn't have all the ones that I prefer to win. Move on. Out of the final 8 here, I'm just going to count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them I truly would be like really heartbroken. And not heartbroken, but I would be kind of upset if they didn't win. So this round, we're definitely going to have some that I'm going to be like, if it gets to a tie and I have to make a decision, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to make this decision. Starting with this one right here. Although I think I know which one I would vote for. I think you guys know which one I would vote for because we just talked about it quite a bit. DuckTales, woohoo! That's right. We got the story of DuckTales. Sorry, DuckTales tells the story of Scrooge McDuck along with his nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We are talking about the original, not the remake here. In the original DuckTales, we have it so the 3 of them, or the 4 of them actually, go on several different adventures all around the world and around Duckburg, the town that they live in, founded by Cornelius Coote, who founded the town with so much loot. So DuckTales tells the story of them going on all these different adventures, and of course, it's not just about them, but it's also about the villains that are there as well. Characters like Magic Dispel, Flintheart Glumgold, the Beagle Boys, and so many others. Going up against DuckTales is a film that is relatively new to the Disney world. However, it is one of those that I am in love with. Like, I just absolutely love this movie. It blew me away when I saw this movie because I did not think I would love this movie, and I think it's such a good movie. He's saying I don't get excited with that. The movie tells the origin story of the one, the only Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil. Cruella is telling the story about Cruella de Vil and how she actually got to the point where she is when we meet her in 101 Dalmatians. We learn about her origin story where her mother dies and then by a Dalmatian. By the way, if you stopped watching the movie at that point, I talked to so many people who were like disappointed by this movie because they stopped watching at that point and they're like, oh yeah, like the movie's really stupid because like her mom dies from a Dalmatian and that's why she hates Dalmatians. You missed the whole movie. You missed the whole movie because there's so much more detail and more depth that this movie goes into. And I absolutely love this movie. And this movie is probably in the top 10 for things that I've watched the most on Disney Plus over and over and over again. I think the soundtrack, by the way, amazing. So we are going to go through and out and try to figure out which one do you want to have move on to our next round. Cruella, as in Cruella de Vil, or DuckTales. You guys have about 30 to 45 seconds to throw your votes in here. So throw them in, starting right now. DuckTales, woo! DuckTales, woo! Woo! Okay, we're gonna hold off for a second. We're gonna let some votes come in here and figure it out on which one you would like to have move on to the next round. No. You throw your votes in there because now that your vote counts. It's a brand new round. Every round counts. Also, we are getting closer. This is going to be my pitch to you guys as we go through here. We're getting closer to the end of our show tonight. However, if you guys can get us a few more subscribers, we will go into bonus rounds here as well. So make sure you throw people over. I know where we started was 2,622 subscribers. Let's see. We are still at 2,622 subscribers. So if we can get this up to the 2,623, subscribers. By the end of the next round, we will move on and do an additional round. Every time we get a new subscriber, we'll go into more and more. And we might actually finish this thing tonight if you guys get us enough subscribers as we go through here. Okay. And if you are just coming in, make sure you throw in your votes in. Every vote counts. Okay, let's start going through and tallying this up. We've got DuckTales. DuckTales. Woohoo. DuckTales. I can't do it every time. 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 10-2. DuckTales has a commanding lead. There are still 13 of you out there who have not voted yet. If you guys want to vote, we got a lot of people who are just watching tonight. Throw your votes in. I'll give you guys 5 more seconds to throw your votes in. If you don't vote now, make sure you vote for the next one. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, our first one to make it to the final 4 is DuckTales. Woohoo! Oh, yeah, I need 2 numbers from you guys out there between 1 and 6. Throw your numbers into the comments below, starting right now. 1 through 6. There's 2 things that are left on the top 8 where I'm like, if they lose, I'm not going to be insanely sad about it. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I enjoy it. 2 and 5 are the first 2 that popped up on there. It would have been funny if they end up going head to head, though. Actually, it would be very funny if the 2 of them ended up going head to head, because it would automatically be in the final 4. So there's a chance that something I would not be like 1,000,000% into would be in the final 4. Okay. And I don't even, it's not like I don't like them. I really enjoy both of them. I just don't like them as much as the other stuff on there. Okay, so 2 and 5, we have a matchup that I did not think we're gonna have a matchup of, since the very first thing that we had in this entire contest was the only battle I thought we were ever gonna have of 2 things that came out on opening day of Disney Plus back in November 12th, 2019. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. The first battle ever, the Imaginary Story against the Mandalorian, was the first battle ever. And it was 2 things that came out, because there weren't a ton of things that came out that day that were exclusive to Disney Plus, that were made specifically for Disney Plus. But a lot of them have been sticking around. One of them is the Imaginary Story. The Imaginary Story has been around since the very first battle, and it's still here to stay. So let's talk a little bit about it, because we haven't talked about it since last time we talked about this. The Imaginary Story tells the story of, well, you guessed it, the Imagineers. The Imaginary Story goes through a 6-episode part series, and in this 6-part episode series, we go from everything with Walt's original ideas for Disneyland, and every single episode slowly gets us closer and closer to the opening of Shanghai Disneyland. Along the way, it's not just all happy sunshines and look at what we've done, but it's actually a lot of the hardships that they went through as Imagineers. Everything from building second parks that really didn't have a purpose, things like California Adventure. Remember the original California Adventure? Did anyone go there? I went there once. It was like you go to Disneyland, which was like perfect. Then you go across the street to California Adventure. It's like, what is this place? I mean, it was still fun, but it was like very confusing on what it was. And then they also talk about so many different things that they went through from the time of Walt to after Walt passed away and on forward. They even came out with a massive book called The Imaginary Story. And when I say massive, I mean, this is like, look at it compared to my head. I've got a big head and it's big. That one's for you, Eric. Going up against The Imaginary Story is a movie that came out on opening day of Disney Plus as well. And we just talked about it, so we're not going to go into too much more detail about it. But the story of Noelle. Noelle tells the story about the daughter of Santa Claus who has a brother who becomes the new Santa Claus, and he does not want to be Santa Claus anymore, or he doesn't want to become Santa Claus at all. So he abandons his job as Santa Claus, runs away to the continental United States, and she has to go try to retrieve him and show him the true spirit of Christmas, which is going to bring us to our next round to get into the finals. Which one would you like to have move on? The Imaginary Story or Noelle? You have about 30 to 45 seconds to throw your votes into the comments below, starting right now. Bum, bum, bum. I really want to watch the Imaginary Story again now. Okay, yeah, things pop. The things are popping in. We're gonna give it a few seconds before we actually go through and throw our votes out there. If you've never watched the Imaginary Story, I highly recommend it. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. This is one of the shows. So things on Disney Plus come out at 3 a.m. And the Imaginary Story, those first 6 weeks, I would be up until 3 a.m. like waiting. I was like, I need to find out what happens next. It was the longest 6 weeks ever, too, like waiting for the next week and waiting for the next week and waiting for the next week. Okay, we're going to start going to our votes here. If you guys keep on throwing your votes in, we'll keep on counting the votes as we go through. We'll give you about 10 more seconds to vote. But if I'm still counting votes and you're voting, it counts. Imaginary Story, no contest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-0 right now. 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, 10-1, 11-1. We still have 12 people out there who have not voted yet. If you guys want to throw your votes in, please do so. But otherwise, the Imaginary Story, even if we get those 12 votes, Imaginary Story is going to win. The Imaginary Story, I love it. Fun fact, Eric and I, this Eric right here, who says now Disney has to take away your Disney Plus memberships. Eric and I are actually in the Imaginary Story. When they announced Star Wars Land, you can see us. Like it's like literally like just blobs of the back of our heads. But I knew exactly where we were sitting during that panel at the D23 Expo. And I was like, that's us. I got really excited. Okay, I need 2 numbers from you between 1 and 4. This will possibly be our last one. Or did I already say that last one was going to be our last one? Let's check our subscriber count. We'll do one more. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. If we had 2 subscribers, we will move. We'll do the rest of them right now. We will end this competition tonight. Number 1. Number 1's going against. Oh, at least I got for $49.99. Number 1. What's that? What's number 1 going against? Anyone? I feel like people, after I said that about getting the 2 new subscribers, I think some people left to get subscribers. And now we just have 1 just sitting here by itself. I need 1 more. There we go. Number 3. 1 and 3. Okay, and that's also going to determine. We're just like Ricardo. We are just like Ricardo. But we've probably been seen by more people than Ricardo has. So Ricardo's nothing on us. Okay, so this is determined. Your votes have determined what our final 2 rounds are going to be to get into the final 4 here. So while we go through here and do this, again, we're going to do a quick recap, and then we're going to go to our vote. If you guys 2 more subscribers, we're going to finish this up right now. I just checked. We do not have 2 new subscribers yet. We don't have 1 new subscriber yet. So keep spreading the word. Those young people who are watching, you guys have friends. So send them out. So yeah, as long as we can get 2 new subscribers by the end of this vote, we will go through and finish the rest of it. If you get 1 new subscriber by the end of this vote, we will go through and at least do 1 more round. And then maybe next week we'll just have like a massive like final 4 party. Let's get ready to rumble. Hey, Steven. Okay. Ready? Let's do it. This is going to be our next one to get into the final 4 of our competition. Oh, wait, we talked about this earlier, but the start of the Marvel Cinematic Universe started with Tony Stark being kidnapped and eventually creating an Iron Man suit. The film we're going to be talking about, Iron Man. In the film Iron Man, we go through and we find out the origin story of one Tony Stark and how he actually becomes Iron Man. Eventually, if you go through the entire post-credit scene, through the credits, at the end of it, you get to the post-credit scene where we have Nick Fury recruiting him to be part of the Avengers Initiative. Now, the film did launch the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this weekend, if you are going around and watching Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, you can be like, oh, I wonder how this started. And then you can think back to 15 years ago when Iron Man began. Oh, wait, going up against Iron Man, I'm come on, people. Let's end this thing. Get those subscribers. I'm gonna try to kind of talk slow, but at the same time, we've already talked about all these movies. So it's gonna be tough for me to do. But going up against Iron Man is a movie which we just talked about like just a few minutes ago. But we can talk about it again here. Remember me, though I hate to say goodbye. Or not Iron Man. That's the first movie we talked about. Coco. Coco tells the story about Miguel who wants to be a shoe salesman. Not at all. That's completely false. I'm just trying to buy you time so we can get those 2 subscribers so we can continue and finish this thing up here. It tells a story about Miguel who just wants to be a musician because that's what he knows that he's meant to be. It's what's in his blood, and that's all he wants to do with his life. Of course, his family doesn't want that at all, and eventually he goes to the land of the living. Honestly, Coco, one of the most visually beautiful films that I've ever seen. When they go to the land of the dead, I think it's just one of the coolest things that they've ever created at Pixar Studios. And that's saying a lot because Pixar Studios has created some amazing different things throughout the years. Does anyone remember the first time seeing Finding Nemo in theaters? Like, I remember being blown away by that underwater shot at the very start of the film so much that I actually went to go see the movie again the next day because I was like blown away by the visuals of the film. But anyways, yes, Iron Man against Coco. I'm going to give you 1 minute to throw your votes in between Iron Man and Coco. So 1 minute to vote. I'm giving you an extra minute here because I want to have it so we get those 2 new subscribers so we can finish this thing up tonight. Let's refresh here. Let's see if we get any new ones. Saw Nemo with a grandkid. Okay. Keep throwing your votes in there. You guys have about a minute to throw your votes in. And these are, as Red Hot Tamale 91 said, oh man, these movies are so opposite. They are extremely opposite because Iron Man is killing people and throwing them to the land of the dead while Miguel is trying to get out of the land of the dead. 2 completely opposite storylines going on. Eventually, he might meet some of those people while he's down there in the underworld. The underworld? It's not even the underworld. They go over that rainbow bridge. Not even a rainbow bridge. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm just trying to kill time so you guys can get some subscribers so we can finish this thing up tonight. Okay, let's count our votes here to try to figure out what is moving on to our next round. And I'm going to count slowly, just in case anyone out there is getting us those last 2 subscribers that we need. I'm one of the biggest Marvel guys there is, but Coco and I don't even have to think about it. AKA 1 for Coco. 2 for Coco. We have 3 for Coco. 3-1. Iron Man is on the board. 3-2. Iron Man. 3-3. Holy cow. This is going to be closer than I thought it was going to be. When I saw the first 3 Cocos, I was like, oh, it's going to be a runaway for Coco, but right now it is 3-3. We have a 4-3 vote. Coco is back in the lead. 4-4. Iron Man has tied it up. This is kind of mind-boggling. 5-4. Iron Man has pulled back into the lead. 5-5. Coco. What is going on here? 6-5. Iron Man has pulled back into the lead. 6-6. Coco. 7-6. Coco. Wow. 7-7. It's tied back up. And Eric says, what is happening? What is happening is if no one votes in the next 5 seconds, Coco just pulls back into the lead. What is happening? Oh my gosh, I want to do a countdown, but we're trying to get subscribers, and I don't even know what to do right now because I want to end this vote, but at the same, we're to do a 10-second countdown all together. Ready? 10. Wait, no, I'm gonna wait for the clock to get to the next one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coco is moving on to the next round. We do not have to remember it, but we will always remember Iron Man. Iron Man, remember ye. I cannot believe that vote. Remember ye. That was the closest vote I think we've ever had when it comes to the end here. Okay, so this all comes down to whether or not we get a new subscriber. If we got one new subscriber, we get one extra round. If we got two new subscribers, we're finishing this up tonight. We got one extra round. Oh, yeah, 2,623. We need 2,624 for us to finish the whole thing up. So, while we go through our next vote here, keep spreading the word. Otherwise, next week, we're just going to have a big thing. You got your new subscriber. Thank you. Oh, see, do what Red Hot Tamale 91 does. Get the new subscribers. Oh, yeah. Okay, oh man, what just happened? Iron Man started it all. So did Snow White, but Snow White fell by the wayside. So, I like Iron Man, but I don't think Iron Man's even remotely close to the top Marvel film, or Marvel anything for that matter. Now that the two have fallen by the wayside, Noel and Iron Man were the two that I was like, oh, if they don't win, I'm not going to be heartbroken. Okay, and they've both fallen in this round. So that brings us to our final one to possibly get into the final four. First up, we have the Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom tells the story of different animals found throughout Disney's Animal Kingdom, along with the Living Seas, Fort Wilderness Campground, and Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, along with any and all different animals that are found throughout Disney property. There's even an episode where like they're driving down the road and they see a tortoise that is like burrowed a home. I just watched this one last week. And they like there's a whole episode about this like wild tortoise out there. So they cover any and all animals as long as they deal with Disney's Animal Kingdom or Animal Kingdom. And it's not just. Let me explain. One of the things when I first started watching, I was like, oh, it's going to be all about Animal Kingdom, the park. But in reality, it's about Animal Kingdom, the animals. Anyways, going up against the Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom is one of the greatest specials that Disney has ever created. That's right, we're talking about Muppet Treasure Mansion, or not, I was going to say Muppet Treasure Island, and then I started saying Muppet Haunted Mansion. It's Muppet Haunted Mansion. Muppet Haunted Mansion tells the story about Gonzo along with Pepe, the King Prawn, who go off to the actual Haunted Mansion. Along the way, they find several different people who have, well, passed away because they're all ghosts. Now, while they're going through and trying to make it through one night and try to find this famous magician that once lived there, they go through several different hijinks, including meeting the one, the only Juan Stamos, aka John Stamos. And that is going to bring us to our vote. Which one would you like to move on to the next round? The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom or Muppet Haunted Mansion? Throw your votes into the comments below, starting right now. Wow. I'm going to pull this back up here, see if it's, have we gotten another? Oh, and I accidentally logged out of the app. Let's see if we get another subscriber. So keep spreading the word. Get a subscriber. We can finish this thing tonight. We've been working on this one for months and months and months and months. Ugh. Tonight could be the night where we finish it up. But it all comes down to getting new subscribers. Keep spreading the word. Post it on your Facebook. Say, hey, go subscribe to this guy. I kind of like him. Mikey, he likes it. Okay, let's go to our vote in the comments. This is, I think this is going to be one of those where there's one that I like more, but if it loses, I like the other one enough that I'm going to be happy with it. And if it comes down to me voting, I think there's going to be some people who are going to be very disappointed with me. But there's gonna be some people who are very happy with me too. I think both these, but while I'm killing time to try to get you guys the subscribers here, I think both these are worthy of being in the final four, 100%. Both of them amazing series, and amazing special. Both of them deserve to be in that final one. So let's get to it. We're gonna go to our vote here, and hopefully you guys are also getting the subscribers so we can move on up. My vote is Animal Kingdom. 1 for Animal Kingdom, 1 for Muppets, 1 for Animal Kingdom, 2-1 Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom, 2-2 Muppet Haunted Mansion's tied it. Now it's pulled in the lead. 3-2, 4-2, 5-2 with Muppets in the lead. 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 7-4, 8-4, 9-4. We're going to give you guys about 10 more seconds to throw any more votes in there, but right now it is a 9-4 vote with the Muppets in the lead. We still have 12 of you out there who are watching. I think it's probably just the same 12 people that have been not voting at all the entire night, that have just kind of been sitting back in the rafters and watching. But we're going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Muppets Haunted Mansion is moving on to the final four. If it came down to a tie, I would have voted for Muppets Haunted Mansion. As much as I love the Magic Disney's Animal Kingdom, I would have voted for the Haunted Mansion. Okay, now is the best time to figure out exactly if we are going to be going through and moving on to a final round. Like I said, we need to get to 2,624. I'm going to slowly talk to possibly... it's refreshing, and it's refreshing really slowly. Like, it just keeps on moving around in a circle. Holy cow, what are you doing? It's still refreshing. It's still refreshing. It's still refreshing. I'm gonna refresh it one more time here, just in case. Okay. Oh yeah, you guys have earned it. We are moving on to finish up this competition tonight, right now, on the Wednesday show. Yeah, I got my watch is charging right next to me right now. Okay. Okay, we need... Wait, I have to randomly assign numbers. Okay, we've got the numbers randomly assigned. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 4. Just finish it for the people. Disregard. Okay. 3 and 3. Can't go against each other. So 3 and 2. My gosh. This is amazing. This is... Oh my gosh. Like, this is kind of crazy. So you guys have just determined... You've just determined what our next 2 matchups are going to be. After those 2 matchups, we are going to go into the final round. So, as we usually do in all of these competitions, we are going to go through and do a quick, if I can find it quick enough, recap of how our things got to where they are today. So, starting us off, a Mighty Ducks movie had no chance against this film, besides the fact that Mighty Ducks is a great film, but it takes a lot to kill a duck. But if you want to kill a duck, you got to kill it with another duck. Because DuckTales, the OG, the original series from the 1980s and 1990s, killed off the Mighty Ducks. After that, the Mighty Ducks would move on to our next round in these to get into the Sweet 16, and it would fight... Where is it at? Where is it at? I'm trying to find it real quick here. It would be one of my favorite movies of all time, Candleshoe. After that, DuckTales would once again go off, because Tarzan will always be in our heart, but it will not be in the competition anymore when DuckTales took it down. And then after that, DuckTales took down one of my favorite movies that's come out on Disney Plus, specifically for Disney Plus, which was Cruella. Going up against DuckTales is something that I have held near and dear to my heart since I first saw it when it came out on Disney Plus the very first day. That's right, the Imagineering story in the very first round took out one of the most popular series on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian. After that, it went into the next round where it took off one of the most despised series on Disney Plus, She-Hulk. It had kind of an easy way into the Sweet 16. But once it got into the Sweet 16, it took out the Jungle Cruise. And after the Jungle Cruise, it took out Noelle. Landed it here into the Final Four, which is going to be our first matchup in our Final Four. Which one would you like to move on? DuckTales or the Imagineering story? You guys have about 1 minute to throw your votes in right now. DuckTales, woohoo, Imagineering story. This is a tough one for me. This is a tough one. I know what I would vote for. If it comes down to a tie, there is not a doubt in my mind. I know which one I'm going to vote for. And I feel like most people would vote for it, but maybe not. I have no idea. Because both amazing series, actually, out of everything left in the Final Four, my two favorite things are going head to head. I was hoping it would come down to the two of them going head to head against one another in the very final. But that's not the story that played out here tonight. Instead, it's this story that's playing out instead. Two great series. Two amazing series. I've loved both of them. I've loved one since I was a child. I've loved the other one since 2019. Oh my gosh. I don't know which one it's going to go to. We're going to give you guys like 10 more seconds to vote just because I'm nervous. I haven't even looked at the votes yet. I've seen the first vote, which is Eric's, and that's the only one I've actually kind of paid attention to because I stopped the chat from continuing to scroll at that point. All right, let's go to our votes. DuckTales, woohoo, 1. 2 for DuckTales, 3 for DuckTales. This is going differently than I was anticipating. 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, 7-5, 8-5. Wow. 8-5. DuckTales is moving on to our final. Holy cow. That blows my mind. That one blows my mind. I thought for sure Imagineering stories. So I'll put this out there now. Remember a few weeks ago, or the last time we did this, or 2 times ago we did this, you guys asked me what I was predicting would win the entire thing. I had the Imagineering story. The Imagineering story was the one that I actually personally wanted to win the entire competition. I love DuckTales, but I like the Imagineering story better. I'm sorry. I love Scrooge McDuck. I clearly am obsessed with DuckTales. I absolutely love DuckTales. But if I had to rank my all-time favorite television series of all time, not just Disney, all television series, it goes The Amazing Race, number 1. Number 2, The Imagineering story. The Imagineering story, hands down, would have won this competition in my heart every single time. But Imagineering story, you played wonderfully. I'm so proud of you. But unfortunately, it is your time to wrap up. Okay, let's move on to our next matchup to determine what's going to be going head-to-head against DuckTales in our final one. Okay, again, let's go through and figure out how each one of these got to this point. Oh, wait. A few years ago, there was a brand new documentary about Howard Ashman that came out, and unfortunately, Howard Ashman just could not take down the other musical genius, Miguel, in Coco. That's right. Coco beat out another musician in the very first round in the form of Howard. Going up into our next round to get into the Sweet 16, Coco took down ironically, a show that was on the Disney Afternoon, The Adventures of Gummy Bears, which possibly could be going up against one of its predecessors, DuckTales, in our next round. Going into our next round, Coco took out a classic Bambi, literally barely by the edge of its teeth, and then it took out Iron Man to get into our final four. On the other side here, we have the Muppet Haunted Mansion, which took out one of our personal favorite things here on the show, Bluey. I absolutely love Bluey. Actually, my brother and I, like I said earlier, my brother's in town right now with his kids, and we took 2 different cars to get to Hollywood Studios today because we were just doing the Skyliner. And then on the way back, my brother and I were talking about Bluey because naturally, that's just what you do when you're 2 guys in your 30s and 40s. You talk about Bluey. Which one were we talking about? Oh, Muppet Haunted Mansion. Muppet Haunted Mansion then took it down another opening day. First show, one Disney day, and then in the next round, it took out Miss Marvel. Finally, to get into our final round, it would go up against the magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom to make it into our final 4. And that's going to bring us to our second to last vote of this competition. Which one would you like to have move on, Coco or Muppets Haunted Mansion? You have about, let's say, a minute to vote. I think this is going to be an interesting vote because I know a lot of Coco fans are out there, but I also know a lot of Muppet fans are out there. This is a very, very interesting vote. I can see this one going either way. Honestly, in my head, I know which one I'm going to vote for if it comes down to a tie. I will announce it right before we start doing our vote, or actually, I'll announce it after the vote. But Coco is one of those movies that I enjoyed in the theater, but I've enjoyed it more once I've started to watch it on Disney Plus. And was this the movie where I got sucked into it when we were at the pool, Eric? I think on the fantasy, where I was like, "Oh, Coco," and I started oh no, that was Up. I started watching Up, and then Shelly's like, "I've never seen Brent sit this," or maybe it was Coco. We watched Up and Coco on the thing. I think it might have been Coco where Shelly was like, "I've never seen Brent sit that still for that long before." Okay, we're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go to our votes here. We have 1 for Coco, 1 for Muppets Haunted Mansion, 2 for Muppets Haunted Mansion. We have a 2-1 vote, 2-2, 3-2. Coco's taking the lead. 4-2, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 7-5, 7-6, 8-6. Coco has told Muppets to remember them because it has taken them down in the final 4. Coco is moving on. The one I would have voted for was actually I was gonna vote for Muppets Haunted Mansion. As much as I love Coco, I don't know. There's just something about Muppets Haunted Mansion that I absolutely love. Okay, that brings us to our final vote. Once again, let's just do a quick recap of both of these things. Starting back in the 1980s, we got one of the most classic television series of all time. In fact, it was so classic it got a reboot just a few years ago in the form of DuckTales. Woohoo! DuckTales is an amazing film or amazing series. It actually launched a film, 99 different episodes, and all episodes amazing in their own sense. Along the way, we met Scrooge McDuck, Launchpad McQuack, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and met so many other characters found around Duckburg. Going up against DuckTales, we have a film that came out in the late 2010s and has also made its way into many people's hearts. Coco tells a story about Miguel, who goes through and wants to be a musician just like his great-great-grandfather, who he believes to be Ernesto de la Cruz. Spoiler alert, it might not be. No, it is. If you've never seen the movie, it definitely is. Spoilers. Along the way, he just wants to become a famous musician, but at the same time, he has to go home, and his family that is in the land of the dead will not allow him to go home because they don't want him to be a musician, but at the same time, that's all he wants in life, and they're ruining his life, even though they're not even part of his life, and that is going to bring us to our final vote. Which one would you like to move on to or which one not would you like to move on? Which one would you like to be crowned our champion tonight, DuckTales or Coco? Throw your votes in right now. Oh my gosh. This is a crazy one. I cannot believe it came down to these two. If you told me at the start that this is what it come down to, I would not have said this is what it come down to. I did think Coco would make it pretty far into the competition because I know people who are diehard Coco fans. One of my friends has a toddler, and they insist that it's his favorite movie, the toddler's favorite movie. But I know for a fact that my friends they just love Coco so much. Okay, we're gonna give you guys 5, 4. I think I might have already counted down. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got DuckTales. I'm dying to pick DuckTales. 1, 2 to 1, or I'm sorry, not 2 to 1. 1 to 0, 2 to 0, 3 to 0. Neither. I'll pick the one I watched if needed. Okay. 4 to 0, 5 to 0, 6 to 0. Coco. I remember you. 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 7 to 2, 7 to 3, 8 to 3, 9 to 3, 10 to 3. Wow. And just like that, the official winner of our Disney Plus What Would You Like to Watch the Most on Disney Plus challenge is the one, the only DuckTales. Woohoo. I had no idea it would come down to DuckTales. Who predicted DuckTales at the start? If you would have given me this list that we started off with at the very start, there's no way I would have said, oh, you know what's going to win is DuckTales. As much as I love DuckTales, I figured I was in a minority of people who love DuckTales. All right. Let's do, before we wrap up, let's do a full recap here of every single round. I don't know why I'm doing this because I've never done this before, but let's do it. Okay. I'll do round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Okay. The Imaginary Story. Okay, round 1. The Imaginary Story beat The Mandalorian. Candle Shoe beat WandaVision. The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom beat Sneakerella. Miss Marvel beat Andor. Coco beat Howard. Iron Man beat The Rescue. Star Wars Rebels beat The Happiest Millionaire. DuckTales, the original, beat Mighty Ducks the movie. Tailspin, Revenge of the Sith. By the way, spoiler, DuckTales will win the whole competition. Tailspin beat Revenge of the Sith. Ralph Breaks the Internet beat Loki. Muppets Haunted Mansion beat Bluey. The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse beat out the Clone Wars. Jungle Cruise beat Big Shot. Wreck-It Ralph beat Mighty Ducks Game Changers. The Adventures of the Gummy Bears beat The Mysterious Benedict Society. Noelle beat Black Widow. Luca beat Agent Carter. She-Hulk beat Werewolf at Night. That shouldn't have happened. Industrial Light and Magic beat Baymax Shorts. Pollyanna beat High School Musical, the musical, the series. The Simpsons beat Diary of a Future President. One Day at Disney beat Obi-Wan Kenobi. Tarzan beat Fox and the Hound. Cruella beat The Olaf Shorts. Descendants beat Hawkeye. Rogue One beat The Ugly Dachshund. Lady and the Tramp beat Jeff Goldblum. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas beat the Daredevil series. Once Upon a Time, the show beat Pinocchio live action film. Cars on the Road beat Groot Shorts. Bambi beat Shang-Chi. The Rescuers on beat 101 Dalmatians. Brother Bear beat Behind the Attractions. Candle Shoe beat Rogue One. Round 2. The Rescuers beat Industrial Light and Magic. Brother Bear beat Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom beat out Luca. Bambi beat Cars on the Road. Jungle Cruise beat Descendants. Noelle beat Star Wars Rebels. Cruella beat out Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. The Imaginary Story beat She-Hulk. Iron Man beat Once Upon a Time, the TV show. Muppets Haunted Mansion beat out One Disney Day. DuckTales, the original, beat Candle Shoe. Coco beat Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Pollyanna beat out The Simpsons. Tarzan beat Tailspin. Lady and the Tramp live action beat out Ralph Breaks the Internet. And Miss Marvel beat out Wreck-It Ralph. Going into our round 3, Cruella beat out Brother Bear. The Imaginary Story beat out Jungle Cruise. Muppet Haunted Mansion beat Miss Marvel. Iron Man beat Lady and the Tramp live action. Noelle beat Pollyanna. The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom beat out The Rescuers. DuckTales beat out Tarzan, and Coco beat out Bambi. Going into Final 4, we had DuckTales beat out Cruella. The Imaginary Story beat Noelle. Coco beat Iron Man. The Muppet Haunted Mansion beat out The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. And then our Final 4, we had DuckTales beat The Imaginary Story, and Coco beat Muppets Haunted Mansion. Until finally, in our final, we had DuckTales beat out Coco. And that, my friends, is all it's out. Okay, so we are going to wrap this up here. As always, tonight's show is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel. Make sure you stop by it'sallaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All their services are absolutely, positively, 100% free at It's All About the Mouse Travel. Jazz hands. So make sure you stop by it'sallaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. As always, thank you everyone out there for joining. Now we know who reads all the fine print at the end of those prescription drug ads. Thank you everyone for joining us once again tonight. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Keep on sending people over here. If you guys did not catch it at the start of the show, we are stopping our daily Disney videos for this next week while my niece and nephew are in town because I want to spend as much time with them as possible. So make sure if you guys want to join us for, daily videos, I apologize. Just wait till next week. But we will be having Disney shorts up every single day still. We're attempting to do every day. And we will still be having our daily Disney photo over on Instagram as well. So make sure you watch out for those as well. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us here. As always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't stand this kind of pressure. Jiminy